Hello everyone and welcome back to Little Norton. Today is the 4th day of midsummer, which makes it episode number 10. I've started off the morning by driving down to the BGA to come and check on our silage bales. Let's give them a quick scan to see where we are. Okay, so 82% fermented, 9 hours to go. It's 8 o'clock now, so looks to be around 5 o'clock they'll be ready, which is good, because we have a day full of activities planned. So, first job for today, we have to drive back to field number 55, which we limed and manured last time, to get it prepped for the next crop. But before we did that, we obviously collected up all of the silage bales, put them on our new trailer and brought them over to the BGA. Yeah, the first job is getting back to the field and continuing on with the subsoiling. At the end of last session I did try to subsoil and seed at the last time, and yet again it didn't quite go to plan, so I subsoiled over the area that I seeded and left the rest for today. So I'm going to nip back to the field, attach the subsoiler and finish off subsoiling that field. I'll see you when we are done with that. Lovely job! So we have finished subsoiling up field number 55. So if we take a quick look here, we'll see that it's just nicely ploughed, and yep, doesn't have the requires ploughing red marks, which is really good and is going to set it up quite nicely for the crop we're going to put in it. So yeah, last time we limed it and manured it, so it's going to have a good pH balance, but the nitrogen, the manure only gets it to a sort of base level of coverage. So yeah, we're going to be fertilizing it alongside seeding it, and our seeder is a direct drill as well as a seeder and fertilizer, which is very, very handy. Saves us doing multiple passes with a cultivator, and also then again with a seed spreader, a fertilizer spreader. Cool, so I'm going to probably start on the far end You'll notice we have alfalfa selected. Alfalfa is the crop that I decided we are going to put in this field. And the main reason for that is alfalfa has A, a good price, and B, has more coverage for animal needs. It covers cattle, so cows, alfalfa hay or alfalfa silage, sheep, alfalfa hay, and horses, alfalfa hay as well. The choice was between alfalfa and clover, and clover only seems to benefit cows and sheep, so just thought that was the best one to choose. So let's get the John Deere seeder unfolded. It's looking quite dirty, but we can turn it on and start feeding our alfalfa. Very nice. Looks to be going in very well. It's a very oddly shaped field. It hasn't got straight edges, so where I follow the edges, I then have to sort of try and make the next pass a little bit straighter. But I'm going to try and leave the headlands at the top and the bottom of the field, so I can come back and finish that at the end. Yes, this field is a little bit harder to negotiate. For realism, I want to try and minimise the amount I'm driving over gone areas. It can prove difficult. I'm not quite sure how farmers really manage it in real life. A difficult task for sure. So if we look at the help menu, we're actually not applying any fertiliser because this area of the field looks to have too much. The alfalfa, that is. The precision farming does look at the crop you're choosing to seed and applies the right amount of fertiliser, i.e. nitrogen, to the field. But I don't think we're going to be penalised for having it over-fertilised in parts. That's just what the manure gave the field. So just means we're going to save some money on man-made fertiliser, which is expensive compared to manure, so that is a good plus. Right, I'm going to carry on getting our alfalfa seeded, and I'll see you when we're done. Okay, so we have seeded field number 55 with alfalfa, and yep, it was a little bit tricky seeding it. Oh, as you can see, it's yellow, just planted, so we should see that germinate soon, hopefully. And it is, of course, alfalfa, which is good. Yeah, it was a little bit tricky. The shape of the field does make it quite tricky to work on, and I'm not going for super realistic, but I would like to try and follow the way that a farmer would go about it in real life. So whilst I was doing that job, I was having a bit of a think about how would you go about the job to make it so you weren't going over areas that you'd covered already, and making a mess of what the area you've worked on already. And the best way I can think of for next time would be to just go straight to the middle of the field and drive a straight line all the way down to the end of the field in the middle as well, and then just work your way either side out towards the ends, and then maybe do what I did at the end here and just cover over the headland again. But I would appreciate any thoughts, views, tips or tricks on how to go about an oddly shaped field that's not straight. In the first half of the field I did make a bit of a hash of it over there. It end up with sort of little triangles that don't go the full length of the field, and proves quite difficult to cover. But nonetheless, we have got the job done, and there are some pesky weeds that have showed already. So I'm going to need to herbicide the field. That could be the next job. We are into the afternoon, so we only have another hour or so before our bales of silage are going to be fully fermented. So I'm thinking I'll head back to the farm. I will grab the front loader with the bale fork, and then I'll also grab the sprayer and fill it with herbicide so we can get back over to the field and give it a good measure of herbicide to keep those weeds at bay. Yeah, I'm going to see to that, and I'll see you shortly. Okay, so back at the field after dropping off the subsoiler and the seeder, and we've come back with the sprayer, which has got 75% of herbicide in. I'm hoping that's going to be enough for our needs, but let's set about herbiciding the field. Now, what I have noticed, or what I think with the seasons is, if you herbicide, it will keep the weeds away. It didn't turn out to be 100% true in the field grass field, but I'm going to try it again and see if it sort of works with this field. We do have weeds coming up sort of sporadically. It doesn't come up like it does in the base game, where it covers and litters the whole field. It just comes up in patches. But yeah, you need to spray the whole field to make sure the weeds stay away. It definitely worked probably about 95% in our canola field at the main part of the farm. So yeah, hopefully we can keep our alfalfa weed free. We've used 15%. If we end up using any more, then I'll have to just nip the shop down the road to pick up some more herbicide. But it is quite expensive, so hopefully not. Nice width on the spreader, on the sprayer, sorry, which is pretty good, even though it's a Diddy sprayer. It does look quite funny, hitched onto the back of the big John Deere. But it suits our needs, and it's definitely a good sprayer for the price. Right, so I'm going to get this finished, and I'll see you when this field is fully herbicided. Okay, so have finished herbiciding the field, and yeah, strangely enough, the weeds that are here are not really responding to the herbicide. The texture underneath them of the soil is staying a lighter colour, so it's really odd as to what's happening. I'm not quite sure if this is a glitch in the matrix, or if I haven't scanned those parts of the field when it came to precision farming. With the Azeria Scout, I did miss a couple of small sections, so those could be it. But the rest of the field has changed texture, so I'm hoping that we're not going to see any weeds in those other parts. But we will just have to wait and see. Something I hadn't necessarily planned for, such is the nature of the game, and also when playing it, come across little things that crop up like this. And I appreciate that you might only herbicide the field once a few more weeds have reared their heads, but I'm trying to use it as a preventative measure rather than a reactive thing. But yeah, those weeds, those two little patches, one at the top and then one at the bottom here, looks like they are there to stay, as the herbicide hasn't done anything to them. But we will keep a close eye on the rest of the field, and hopefully no more weeds appear where we have been able to spray. Excellent. So I'm now on my way to the BGA. It's past 5 o'clock, so we should have had our 9 hours, and that means that our silage bales are hopefully fully fermented, and we can start loading them in to the BGA, which hopefully will be a quick job, and that should all process before midnight, where we'll get the proceeds from our silage from the biogas plant. and I'm hoping for some good money, because very soon, when it gets to later in summer, we're going to need a harvester to harvest our canola and harvest our field grass. I have no idea when they're going to be ready. Seasons gives me a window as to when they'll be ready to harvest. I have seen in others who I've watched playing seasons that it can sometimes go slightly beyond that window, and you still get an opportunity to harvest it before it withers away. But if you do leave it too late, i.e. into sort of mid to late autumn, crop definitely will wither. So we will just have to keep a close eye on our two crops and see when they are ready to harvest. I'm not expecting the alfalfa to be harvestable or mowable in this year. We shall wait and see, but I think it's going to take a little while to get it to good enough growth stage to be able to mow it and make alfalfa hay, alfalfa silage, or just plain alfalfa. Right, so BGA, here we are. Let's get the bale fork unfolded. Nice little feature that can fold up, and hopefully there we are, 4,000 litres of grass silage. I'll just scan another one to make sure that they are all ready. But yeah, they should be, because we wrapped them all pretty much around the same time. Lovely job. So, next mission is to get all the silage bales dropped into the BGA hopper. Let's start with the leftmost. And whilst I'm here, I'm just going to look at a tip that one of my subscribers, Felden, told me, which I failed to realise in the last session, is that I have the ability to raise and lower this part of the bale fork, which would have made it a little bit easier when I was doing stacks of 3. So thank you for that, Felden. I will definitely deploy that now and make use of it next time. We have 3 bales being picked up. There we go, 8,000 litres deposited, and it's processing pretty quickly. So I better stop talking and get on with loading all of this silage. I'll see you when we're done. And there we are. We have loaded all the silage bales, and looks like we have 67,000 litres left to process. It's processing pretty quickly, so it should be done by midnight. I'm not sure how many litres we had in total, but there would have been a lot from that field. But not all of it did we bring to the BGA. The second probably half full trailer we took back to the farm, and that's there, and is probably going to be saved up to put towards our animals when we get them. So yeah, and they're also there as a bit of reserve if we think we're not going to need silage for a little while, and we are strapped for cash we can of course bring them to the BGA for a bit of easy money. Cool, so 6:15. I think that's the end of our working day. So I'm going to head back to the farm, put a few bits away, and then put our feet up and see the clock through to midnight. Not for New Year, but for the BGA profits. I'll see you then.
Foot race against supermodels.
And there we are. We have stayed up till midnight and we've had a lovely £60,480 profit through all of our silage. Oh, and today we've earned 18,000 from our placeables. So the bank balance is looking really, really healthy. But yeah, we stayed up late for that, and we better go get some kip, because tomorrow is going to be yet another busy day. I say tomorrow, but it already is tomorrow. Day 5 of late summer. But yep, I hope you've enjoyed watching. As always, a big thank you for any views, likes, subscribes. If you've got any tips, tricks, things you'd like me to do, then feel free to leave a comment. But yeah, another big thank you, and I hope to see you again next time. Cheers then. Bye bye.